Okay, I'm going to be experimenting with a new gardening system. As you know, I like my gardening. In fact, that's where my other garden is over there in that blue and white house in the backyard. That's my other house. Beautiful little quick view. And so what this is, it's a self-fertilizing gardening system. And what we're going to do is we're going to put about 7 cubic feet of garden soil, organic right here. We're going to put worms in it. And then what we can do is with the centerpiece, we basically put our scraps of vegetables or food that we want to compost in here. And what's going to happen is the worms are actually going to go through those holes. They're going to eat that extra scrap, and they're going to bring it back into the soil, and they're going to basically leave their worm castings in the soil. When we water up here, the soil, the water is going to go through the bottom, and if you see these like little holes right down there, we're going to have a dish down here. And so what's going to happen is the water is going to go through the soil. It's going to gather up all the worm castings, all the nutrients, drain it back out that hole, and then what we can do is we can refill up here with that self-fertilizing system, make it a super rich organic garden. So here it is, first step, 53 plants later, coming soon. This holds roughly 7 cubic feet of organic soil. So we're going to put in about 1 more cubic foot of soil here, top it up, and we'll be ready for the next phase. And the next phase is basically going to be, we're going to put some plants in it. And we're supposed to start with fresh little baby plants. We kind of wanted to do seedlings, but for this demonstration, we will just start with that. So, step 2, complete. Okay, we've now filled that up with 7 cubic feet of organic soil. As you can see, all these little holes are going to be ready to plant all the different types of plants. So, let's go get the compost and we'll put it in there. Okay, so we got the soil in here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put some of the scrappings. I have a lot of what's going to be eventually compost. A lot of wheat grass, we got green peas, sprouts that we use from our juicer. I got some flowers in there. So we're basically just going to take all this compost stuff out. We're going to put it in here, and I hope what they say is going to happen is this is going to turn into a nice compost when the worms go in there and they eat that. It's supposed to fill 1/3 of the way full. And there you go. So we're going to give this a shot. We're going to see what happens, but that's first step with the actual composting. Next step is we are going to plant the seedlings. So we have our soil, we have the scraplings down in the center. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the actual plants in. Okay, so we just finished planting 53 plants. We have lots of squash, lots of parsley, lots of spinach. We have some peppers I pulled from my other garden, lemongrass. This is the next step. So we filled that up completely. And we will monitor this in a couple weeks and show you how it evolves. But the next step we still have to do is we have to water and put the worms in. So we're done watering it. We have our night crawlers right there, ready to work their way into the system. And what they'll do is they'll go through, they'll eat all the scrappings, they'll put their worm castings into the soil. When we water it, the water is going to go through the soil and filter out. We're going to make like a tea. And this tea basically filled with worm castings and lots of other nutrients. And then we're going to bring it up and we're just going to keep on re-watering it, so it's going to be a self-filtering or a self-fertilizing system. So cross our fingers, we'll get back to you and tell you how good it's going to be.